So, when did you guys find out that USA was going to do a movie, and what was that like?
We've been talking about it for a while. Nobody was listening, but we were talking about it. I think the network always kind of had it in the back of their minds that it's something they could come back to because of these fans, because of years of coming to Comic-Con and realizing and feeling like all the love that sort of this great little culture came together and supported the show like a lot of shows don't get. And so I think they were smart, and they teased us for a while, and then we teased them, and then we kind of said let's really get serious about it and talk about when we could do it, how we could do it. Maybe we write a script and get everybody excited. So that's how it got started, and we were fortunate enough that the stars aligned and we got to do it.
So how is this movie going to differ from like a normal episode of Psych?
That's a good question, because there was one of the things I think we talked about a lot, which is what do we do so that it doesn't feel like we're just making another long episode.
Right.
And Steve and James really sat down, and when they were trying to break kind of what the story would be, and did everything in their power to kind of make it feel bigger and still makeable, producible, but to make it feel bigger and better. And what can we do? We learned and got pretty good at shooting stuff on a budget and making action work in our show. I don't think the show was ever really supposed to be an action comedy per se, but we got really ambitious and we got very smart and crafty up there in Vancouver over the years. And we were really lucky to have about 65% of our crew make themselves available and sit and wait for our start date to happen, which was awesome because there's so much work up there. They're all busy, but we managed to get a huge chunk of people that know our sensibilities and know how to make it fly and know how to produce stuff really, really well for our show. And we were able to, do a lot. So it feels big, it feels grand. There's a lot of action in it. There's a lot of big moments in it. It's really special, and I think it feels like a movie.
And I thought what was so great is it's not only a reunion for everybody on the show because everybody's coming back. We're bringing back people from shows previously. There's a lot of special guest stars that we're super excited about. But it was also Old Home Week behind the camera, which was such a testament to both James and Steve and Chris and I, just sort of like making every day feel like you're coming to a family place, you're really working together. And it was a joyful place to work, I think. And so it was sort of fun to see sort of both behind the scenes and in front of the scenes, everybody coming back together.
How much of the script had to change due to Tim's sudden illness?
Health concern, quite a bit. Quite a bit. Tim's a huge part of the show and a huge part of our lives, and so it was really a struggle to kind of figure out, should we be making this right now, and that was the beginning of the conversation, and I think it very quickly turned to how do we do this for Tim? How do we do this for the fans? And hold a spot so that when we get to do another one of these, like, Tim's with us, So we figured if we don't do it, then maybe it all goes away and the network and the studio spend their money somewhere else and we don't ever get to do it and we don't ever get to hold that spot for him. So, it became kind of a rally for us to, like, do this for Lassie. But a lot had to change because he was a big part of it. So there was a frantic and very successful rewrite over a couple of days that ultimately, I think because of what was going on with Tim and the way that we feel about him, the show became much more emotional in moments, and the stakes got higher. And the things that they were able to change had effects on the characters that were closest to Lasseter, and I think by design. And so it became a better movie in a sense, even though there's this huge hole for us and Tim not being awesome and funny and great, but it also became an opportunity for us to, like, we can't wait to have him back.
Yeah. So we know that Zachary Levi is playing the villain in this. What made you guys say, "Oh my God, Zachary Levi is the perfect person to play this"?
Oh, you absolutely.
He's been a friend for a long time. We all met Zach here at Comic-Con years ago, and we were supporters as much as we could do for Nerd HQ and the charities that he works for here. And he's just a good dude, and we love him on screen and off. And we thought about having him on the show, and he was always in production when we were in production, and then we did the musical. We wanted him for that, and he was in Europe, I think, shooting Thor or something, so he couldn't do that. So when this opportunity arose, we were like, "What's Zach doing? It would be awesome to have him." And sure enough, like, we called him, and he was like, "Just tell me when. That sounds awesome." So it was really fun. It was really fun. And he's a different Zach in this movie. These guys gave him the opportunity to play something different and play something fun, and so he doesn't look like Zach, he doesn't sound like Zach, and I think he had fun with it.
Awesome. So are we going to get a new Psych movie every year?
Absolutely.
Well, if it's up to us, yes. If it's up to other people, I don't know if it'll be every year, but we're going to plan for it. Let's just put it that way.
So should we be sending USA pineapples?
Yes.
Yes, we'll need them. Over six new movies? Absolutely.
And if they don't respond, start sending him rotten pineapples.
No, don't do that.
No. Kill them with kindness. That's Kelly's motto.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you guys so much. It was great to talk to you.
Thank you for having us.
Great to see you guys.